Coming up on Channel 8 News, we'll head to Aggieville in Manhattan, where construction has completed on a years-long project. Plus, we will head to Junction City to see how the culture of the city has come alive. And a library in town is using puppets to help children understand tough issues. That's all coming up on Channel 8 News.
We've got rain and cloud coverage for most of the day today. Stick around, though, for more on what's to come this weekend.
This is KKSU-LD, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Good morning, and welcome to the final Channel 8 News program of the semester. And may the 4th be with you. Coming up today, we take a look at where the K-State football players went in the draft, as well as have a live interview with the local fundraiser. But first, after years of construction, roads in Aggieville and Manhattan are finally open. Channel 8 reporter Aaron McGill is live in Aggieville with more on today's ribbon-cutting ceremony.
For the first time in over 5 years, Aggieville and the surrounding blocks have finally been completed. Construction has been completed, and we are just moments away here from the part of North Manhattan Avenue being open, as they're just moments away from a ribbon cutting, as we have multiple things that have been added here, as we have some new additions in the area with a brand new bike lane standing right to the right, seating location, and most notably an Aggieville sign. This project cost over $2 million to complete and is the first phase of over a $30 million Aggieville redevelopment plan. Again, this is where the ribbon place is taking place. I'll show you everything from Anderson Avenue to Morrow Street has been completed to the public. Everything in red is now done. It looks great for the summer. This is not the last time Aggieville will be under construction, as this is the first, as I said, the first phase of many under the redevelopment plan. This is a plan over $30 million, as this is the first part as this is the first of $30 million, as the city has plans for up until 2027. Live in Aggieville, I'm Aaron McGill, Channel 8 News.
Riley County Commissioners recently approved a proposal to construct new turn lanes to help detour traffic when the Kansas Department of Transportation begins construction on 2 new roundabouts in 2025. Channel 8 News reporter AJ Shaw has more on the story.
Last week, Riley County Commissioners unanimously approved a plan that would create turn lanes over where Tuttle Creek Boulevard intersects with Seth Child Road and Highway 13. The reason for this? Well, starting in 2025, KDOT, or the Kansas Department of Transportation, will begin the construction on 2 new roundabouts in the area. While Manhattan and Riley County drivers may be frustrated during that period because of construction and delays, it will hopefully bring down traffic fatalities and also traffic accidents.
According to wisevoter.com, over 380 fatal car accidents have occurred in the state of Kansas in 2023. While those numbers are relatively low in comparison to much larger states like California, New York, and Texas, the state of Kansas has had more fatal accidents this year than nearby states Nebraska and Iowa.
Is to help relieve some of the backup congestion we expect when the KDOT closes the highway for the roundabout projects. The reason for the roundabouts in the project was the high number of accidents and type of accidents they were having at Highway K13 and 24.
IIHS, or Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, states that not only do roundabouts improve traffic flow, but also they've seen a 9% drop each year in two-way accidents. With the implementation of this new roundabout, it should make a very dangerous area in Riley County much safer. For Channel 8 News, I'm AJ Shaw.
Construction on the turn lanes is expected to begin sometime in 2024. The design firm of the project expects it to cost $658,000. Junction City has a new cafe, but what makes Paradox Cafe so special to the Junction City community? The owners say it's the connection the owners maintain with their employees by working to help the community grow and build the foundations they already have. With more on the story, Channel 8 News reporter Brianna Palmer.
Paradox Cafe here in Junction City prides itself on their goals in maintaining their small business connections and local support of other small businesses in Kansas areas.
Junction City doesn't have a sit-in coffee shop, like mom and pop type coffee shop. We have the other chain coffee shops, but nothing like this. And we just wanted to provide a space where families, friends, everybody just could gather.
The biggest thing that we try to do is listen to our community. We've been open about 60 days is all, and we've already made significant changes, and we feel significant improvements just based on what the community is telling us they want to see.
Here in Junction City, local businesses struggle, but Paradox has found new ways of supporting local and farm-raised foods. Their message is simply to support local grown, local businesses, and also supporting the locals.
So I think our kind of unofficial tagline for Paradox is local supporting local. So we think that's a really important aspect of what we do. So all the products that you see for sale, we use Hildebrand milk, everything is sourced locally or in Kansas. So we just think that's really important that, local businesses and family-owned businesses are the heartbeat of America. That's what keeps things going.
In Manhattan, I'm Brianna Palmer, Channel 8 News.
To support and to learn more about Paradox, the owners, and their mission, you can check out their website, paradoxcoffeeandbistro.com. The Junction City Main Street organization is taking the steps to rebuild and maintain Junction's growing business district, but also maintain the attraction, the liveliness to the community. One of the goals of the Main Street project is to attract their community members to shop and eat at their local businesses downtown, while also supporting and helping more local shops and restaurants expand. The Main Street project, while rebuilding and revamping the downtown area, the Main Street director, Michaela Joyce, explains wanting to maintain the historical sites and rich history of the Junction City Main Street.
When this Main Street was built, it was basically all limestone. So majority of our downtown is a historic district. And kind of what Junction City's kind of, I think, started to kind of lean towards is kind of being the small business, small brother next door kind of thing. Manhattan's got some good chains and such over that, but over here we're trying to kind of bring in our small businesses, our entrepreneurs.
Residents of Manhattan say that despite the city's size, it still has a small-town atmosphere and a great sense of community. K-State theater students have been living up to those expectations by bringing joy to local preschoolers. Channel 8 reporter Chase Johnson has more.
Puppets have been associated with children's entertainment ever since Jim Henson premiered Sesame Street on the small screen in 1969. Perhaps inspired by the famous puppeteer, a group of K-State students finally got to show off a project that was months in the making.
The creative drama students are normally cooped up at Memorial Stadium, where the Purple Mask Theater is housed. But today they got to show off their skills to the community at the Manhattan Public Library.
Students created puppets and wrote an original story as part of their final. Once all that was done, the only thing left to do was shoo away the butterflies in their stomachs and break a leg.
A lot of us are gerontology majors or minors, and so we kind of wanted an intergenerational theme to encourage intergenerational relationships and stuff like that. So we have Gilbert the grumpy old goat, or what they think is a grumpy old goat, but they form a really nice friendship, and they perform a great musical.
Performing the puppet show for the community is a tradition that has been going on for the past 23 years. It's even acted as a recruiter for the class.
I've even had someone take my class who came up to me and said, "I saw the puppet shows at the library that your class did, and I can't wait to be in a puppet show."
Once the concert had concluded, the attendees were able to meet with the band members and the puppeteers who created them, wrapping up an afternoon that none of them will forget. Reporting in Manhattan, Chase Johnson, Channel 8 News.
You know, hopefully it's not only for preschoolers, because I think I might check out their next show, have an entertaining performance, and learn some nice life lessons too. Time for a break, but up next we will hear from local organizers trying to help stop cystic fibrosis. Plus, here's another live look at Aggieville as the ribbon cutting ceremony continues.
Thank you. Dad, so the first third of the runway.
Deviations left of course approved. Bobcat 1-2, proceed when able.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. Let's head back now live out to Aggieville, where the ribbon cutting ceremony is about to get its big moment.
Countdown. Okay, they're going to do pictures and they're going to count down. Me?
And other city officials lining up. They are getting ready to cut the ribbon, something that's been a year in the making. A couple years in the making, as Aaron McGill mentioned earlier in our show.
Hold them for a minute.
The mayor's
Everybody
going
look
to cut the ribbon.
The cameras. We're going to get some pictures.
And they are just about ready to get the ribbon cut.
Okay, we're going to count down from 3, everybody.
We see Mark Hedville holding the scissors, getting ready to make the cut. And there it is. A historic moment in the history of Aggieville, as the business district in North Manhattan Ave is finally open for business. And this coming Saturday, the organization Great Strides, an organization dedicated to ending cystic fibrosis, will be hosting their annual walk-in. AJ Shaw for Channel 8 News has a guest live in the studio to give us more about the event. AJ?
Thanks, Blake. Great Strides is an organization dedicated to ending cystic fibrosis, a genetic disorder that causes problems with breathing and digesting. The disorder affects over 35,000 Americans. Today, Lane Klepper, the president of Alpha Gamma Rho fraternity on campus, will be talking about Great Strides, who is sponsoring the event this weekend. Lane, thanks for joining us.
Happy to be here, AJ.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming in, man. First off, tell me a little bit why Alpha Gamma Rho is sponsoring this event.
So, in 2008, a brother passed away from cystic fibrosis by the name of Dave Sewell. And ever since then, we've kind of made it our philanthropy event that we raise money towards every year. He participated in the walk while he was a brother here at K-State, and then after he graduated, they asked us to be a part of it and kind of host the event.
How long have you guys been doing this event?
Since 2008 is when we started. We've had people enter the race and be a part of it, but 2008 is when we kind of took it over and started running the show.
So why did you guys specifically partner with Great Strides?
So Dave Sewell, he was a big part of them when they were here on campus. I mean,
he was a part of the organization?
He was a part of the race, or the Great Strides walk. So he'd go do that. He had cystic fibrosis since high school, so while he was here in Manhattan, going to Kansas State University, he was always a part of it. And when he passed away, it was kind of in honor of him that we decided to become the sponsor of the event.
So how much money has Great Strides raised in these events?
In the past year, $12,000 is what we've given to cystic fibrosis as an organization. So, in the $12,000 per year.
All right, it seems like we're running out of time, unfortunately, but Lane, thanks for coming in today, man, and good luck to you guys this weekend. Hopefully you guys can raise a lot of money and have a nice time on a beautiful weekend.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, AJ. Weather is up next. Stick around, we'll have a look at this weekend's forecast. Plus, the Flint Hills Festival is back with fun activities for the whole community to enjoy.
And he was so excited about playing this game. He was excited all week long.
At the wall is Dink. It is gone. It's a grand slam.
Whatever you do, don't drop it.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Together, we represent a diverse and eclectic population.
Together, we believe that diversity, inclusion, and sportsmanship are expectations.
Together, we promote a welcoming and positive environment for all student athletes, coaches, and visitors.
Together, we treat all people with respect and dignity.
No matter their color, creed, gender, ethnicity, or sexual identity.
Together, we are an empowered family, an empowers family.
Family, diverse and together.
Stronger together. It's a Kansas State program that's here to stay, by the way. Under Chris Kleiman, there's a culture built at Kansas State where we're going to see this team in the top 20 for a while. No question.
Number 22 in white has taken this defense to the next level.
And it is a touchdown for Ben Simmons. K-State's defense rises up from the goal line.
With spring weather in full swing, how are community members getting outside? Channel 8 weather reporter Cooper Dieters has more. Cooper?
With the weather finally getting back to being nice, this weekend we're celebrating. The Flint Hills Festival is in town and will include all sorts of activities for the community. The Flint Hills Festival is an event hosted by the Flint Hills Discovery Center to help celebrate the beauty of our region.
Well, this is the largest single-day event the Flint Hills Discovery Center hosts, and one reason it's so special is because it's just such a great community event for all ages. We're expecting a couple thousand people, and we really have something for everybody. It's just a fun celebration of the Flint Hills.
The festival will take place here at Blue Earth Plaza with activities and food trucks for the entire community.
I think what's special about the Flint Hills Festival this year especially is that it is free. Thanks to a private community donation, we are open to the community, completely free this year. It's really important that people who may not have the opportunity to come here another day can come to the Flint Hills Festival. They can see the exhibits about the Flint Hills. They can experience Dinosaurs Fossils Exposed, our temporary exhibit. They can get a feel for what we have here and what our partners have for them regionally in the Flint Hills. Have fun with their friends. It's just a good time for the entire family. It's good for all ages. So we're really looking forward to having a lot of people come out and join us this year.
Some people may go for the food trucks and some may go just to get outside. But one thing remains the same. We all love the Flint Hills. Let's take a look at our national weather, or Kansas weather. As you can see out east in Kansas, it's high 70s. Go to the middle of the state, it stays around 70s. And you go out west, it's going to stay high 70s, low 80s, and, average. As for this evening, as you can see, it is mostly cloudy. The farmers will be happy with all the rain we're about to get. For the next 3 or 4 days, we are planning on rain, 73, 58, and 65 Friday morning. And then as for the 5-day forecast, as you can see, we are expecting rain Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Friday, it's supposed to be nice, a little cloudy. High 70s, low 80s. As you can see on Sunday, it gets into low 90s. Back to you, Blake.
Thanks, Cooper. Sports is next. We'll see who the latest Wildcats are to come to commit to the men's basketball team. Plus, some now former Wildcats heard their name called on NFL Draft Weekend. We'll take a look coming up.
Together, we represent a diverse and eclectic population.
Together, we believe that diversity, inclusion, and sportsmanship are expectations.
Together, we promote a welcoming and positive environment for all student athletes, coaches, and visitors.
Together, we treat all people with respect and dignity.
No matter their color, creed, gender, ethnicity, or sexual identity.
Together, we are an empowered family, an empowers family.
Family, diverse and together.
Stronger together.
So within industrial engineering, you can actually start your master's degree a year early and start taking those classes your senior year. And then after you go through those upper level courses, you only really have a year left and you would come out with your bachelor's and master's degree, which is something I have been considering just because, it's one extra year and I do love K-State. So it's like, a win-win. But that's a perk with being an industrial engineer. You're able to get your master's degree in just one extra year.
K-State will run the option. Here's Skylar Thompson. He walks it in. Walks it in for Antonio Gordon. Here's the shot and he's got it. And it is Kansas State, courtesy of Bryn Carlson. Side of the box, crossing, wide open, the shot.
Thompson right away. That ball is gone.
She gets the ball back, goes up strong, scores, and one.
So the first third of the runway.
Deviations left of course approved. Bobcat 1-2, proceed when able.
Welcome back. Some successful Wildcats are headed to the NFL. Landon Platter joins us now with the story.
Thanks, Blake. The 2022 NFL Draft saw 4 Kansas State players drafted this previous weekend in Kansas City. That many players haven't been drafted from K-State in the same year since 2003. The 2 biggest names from those 4, Felix Anudike-Uzomah and Deuce Vaughn, were drafted in the 1st and 6th rounds. Defensive end Felix Anudike-Uzomah was drafted 31st overall to the Kansas City Chiefs. Uzomah was the 2022 Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, while also being a semifinalist for multiple national awards, such as the Chuck Bednarik Award and the Rotary Lombardi Award. Uzomah had 20.5 sacks in his last 2 seasons at Kansas State. Running back Deuce Vaughn was drafted in the 6th round by the Dallas Cowboys. Vaughn was a 2021-22 consensus All-American and is 2nd in all-time rushing yards at Kansas State, behind only Darren Sproles. Vaughn rushed for over 3,500 yards and 34 touchdowns during his 3-year career at Kansas State. Along with those 2 stars, here are some other Wildcats who were either drafted or picked up by a team in free agency. As you can see, cornerback Julius Brents was drafted 44th overall, and he went to the Indianapolis Colts. Josh Hayes was also drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the 6th round and was pick 181. Deuce Vaughn, like we talked about earlier, drafted by the Cowboys in round 6. Adrian Martinez, former quarterback for Kansas State, was undrafted free agent. He was picked up by the Lions. Cade Warner, son of Hall of Famer Kurt Warner, was picked up also by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in free agency. Kicker Ty Zentner signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. And finally, wide receiver Malik Knowles signed with the Minnesota Vikings. Coach Jerome Tang has landed Texas star guard Tyler Perry. Perry averaged 17.3 points per game last season while helping the Eagles to win their first ever NIT championship. With Marquise Noel entering the draft, the Wildcats were in need of a playmaking guard. Perry was the 2023 Conference USA Player of the Year and NIT Most Outstanding Player. Perry committed to Kansas State over other Power 5 programs, including Ole Miss, Texas Tech, and Florida. Perry is the 12th best transfer right now, according to CBS Sports, and the first recruit Tang has landed from the transfer portal in 2023. Although football and basketball may be done for this year at Kansas State, there's still one team that has made it to the postseason. Here's more. The Kansas State men's golf team has qualified for the NCAA Division I Golf Championships for the 2nd year in a row. The Wildcats have won 4 team championships this year, including 3 in the fall and 1 this spring.
Going into the spring where we play more tournaments, I think that confidence is something we can go back to, and I think that's the reason why we played so good.
One of the biggest strengths for this year's K-State men's golf team has been their depth. K-State has returned all of their golfers who played in the postseason last year.
And the thing that's made our team so good this year, I think, is the depth. I think 1 through 6, our team is really, really strong. And if you look at the course of the year, there's always been someone to step up, whether it's been our seniors and Tim and Will, or maybe it's been, some of the younger guys that have stepped up. Someone's always stepped up on occasion. So that depth has really helped us be consistent and put us in this position.
With the majority of their roster having postseason experience, the team has high hopes for this year's championships. The regional round for the Wildcats will be held in Bath, Michigan.
I think going to a place like Michigan and you're playing on big grass greens, is somewhat familiar with that. So that's something that you'll look at. But like I said, every school that's there has earned their way there. They're going to be really tough to beat. We're going to have to play our best golf.
The regional rounds of the NCAA Division I Golf Championships begin May 15th. The top 5 teams and lowest scoring individual from each region will advance to the finals, which will be held at the Greyhawk Golf Club in Scottsdale, Arizona. That's all for sports today. Blake, back to you.
Thanks, Landon. Coming up, another check on the weather. We'll be back after this.
I always knew I enjoyed working with kids, and that was something I was passionate about, and I originally planned to become a teacher. I realized I was more passionate about the kids and their upbringing and their development, and I found that K-State actually offered a program that worked perfectly with my interests, and so I decided that school counseling was kind of the right path for me, just so that I could focus more on that psychology aspect and work with the kids on a more intimate level.
And he was so excited about playing this game. He was excited all week long.
At the wall is Dank. It is gone. It's a grand slam.
You ready?
If you can keep up.
Are we gonna do this?
Yeah, let's do it.
I got a job interview today.
Thank you.
Come on. Starting.
This is a Kansas State program that's here to stay. By the way, under Chris Kleiman, there's a culture built at Kansas State where we're going to see this team in the top 20 for a while. No question.
Number 22 in white has taken this defense to the next level.
And it is a touchdown for Ben Simmons. K-State's defense rises up on the goal line.
Now, before we go, let's get one more check of the weather with Cooper Dieters.
It's supposed to be stormy most of the weekend, Blake. Back to you.
Well, thank you, Cooper. That's all the time we have today for today's show, and it is our final show of the semester. So make sure you catch us next semester on Channel 8 News. For everyone at Channel 8, have a great summer.
I always knew I enjoyed working with kids.
This is Channel 8 News.